Hey you guys, happy Valentine's Day. So I'm back for another video and I am very excited about this video, but very nervous too, because it's one of those videos that like, once you start it, you can't go back, you know, and like redo it, which I don't typically ever do anyway. I'm kind of like a one take kind of deal on all of my channels. But this is probably why I've never had a DIY channel, honestly, before, because once you start it, you can't go back, which I don't know why I'm always so nervous on this channel for stuff. But anyway, I was at the Meijer and I was like, you know what? Well, first of all, let me just tell you, I love Valentine's Day, okay? I love everything about Valentine's Day. I love just the memories of it when I was growing up as a kid. I love spending Valentine's Day today with my husband. We have a very special day planned for Valentine's Day. You will be watching this on Valentine's Day if you're watching it, because that's when, well, I mean, unless you're watching this on the 3rd of June, I don't know. But I'm gonna post this on Valentine's Day. And I'd actually planned on posting it earlier in the week, and it just kept on getting pushed back and pushed back. But I love Valentine's Day so much, and you know, I was talking about this on my Peterson's channel, that when I was a kid growing up, I loved any of kind of the, let me get the stuff out here and show you what I have, but I loved any of like the classroom parties that we would have. It was kind of this, you know, magical moment when school ended, but it was before the bell rang, if that makes sense. When, you know, moms would come in and they would bring, you know, cupcakes with red frosting, and you would set your shoebox, Valentine's Day shoebox out. And for me, at least, there was no meanness or no hatred during that period of time. And, you know, I was somebody that grew up very, very lonely and didn't have a lot of friends in elementary school or junior high. And I'm laughing because I always had like that one girl that I liked, you know. And I actually just found my childhood diary down in the basement not too long ago. And in there it said, well, I found it a while ago, then I refound it. Do you ever do that? You like set it to the side, then you refind it, then you refind it. And it was really sweet because like in there I wrote like in 1st or 2nd grade, like, so-and-so is my girlfriend. And then I turned the page and like that's all that was written. And then the next page, it was one of those diaries with the lock on it, you know. And then the next page it said, so-and-so's not my girlfriend anymore, now it's so-and-so. And what's so funny is I remember these people, and one of them is actually a really good friend of my cousin's today. So all these years later, you know, she was my girlfriend in my diary. She was my very first girlfriend in my diary. But I loved those days, you know, of watching like the Peanuts Valentine's Day cartoon in a classroom and exchanging Valentines. And there was always that one special person I wanted to make or buy the really big Valentine's Day for. And I've always loved Valentine's Day. And I know there's a lot of people that don't. And it's always interesting to me because I've met so many people, I mean, quite a few people in this world that will say, I don't like Valentine's Day. I think that, you know, you should practice love every day of the year, which I totally agree with, you should, you know. But it's like, Valentine's Day is just such a fantastic holiday, because if you're single, yes, I know that a lot of people are like, well, I'm single, so I don't get to celebrate it. But what a wonderful day to like celebrate loving yourself and doing something nice for yourself. And also when I was growing up, like Valentine's Day, sure, was always like, do you remember in high school, it was always like, they showed it in the movie Mean Girls, but it really was true, that you could buy the roses, at least our school we could. You could buy the roses for people, and you could do like a yellow one for a friend and a red one for like romance, and then there was one that was like anonymous. Do you remember that? And it was like, and no roses for Gretchen Wiener. It was like kind of that kind of thing, but I do remember that from high school. But I always kind of like, even in high school, hoped there'd be like that anonymous person that would like leave me an anonymous, I mean, isn't that so corny that I wished for that? Like, you know, even in high school, that anonymous person out there that just thinks you're fantastic above all else. I guess we're all kind of, to some degree, hoping that there's like that one person out there that, you know, maybe not an obsessive stalker, but that one person out there that in their eyes you can do no wrong kind of thing, you know. And for many years, that was my mother. And she always made such a big deal out of Valentine's Day. She would always make Valentine's Day hearts with sprinkles on them. She would burn them because she burnt all of her cookies that she made, which is why she always said she liked the burnt ones. But, you know, she'd make some special dinner for Valentine's Day night, and for just us, you know, some fancy dinner and candle lit. And she'd always get me a present for Valentine's Day and a box of candy. And my mom always made a big deal out of it, you know. And that didn't have to be a romantic thing, obviously. You know, it was just like, that was the way that we celebrated in our house. And my aunt and my cousin and my uncle, they did the same thing. Like, they'd have a Valentine's Day dinner. And I think as we got older, I think we all as a family, like, would go out somewhere dinner, somewhere nice, you know, for Valentine's Day, which was so much fun. And so I think, you know, it's just one of those holidays to me that's like so special and so unique to celebrate. It's like just a happy day. So I still like to celebrate it. And my husband knows that. The first year that we got together, I made clear that Valentine's Day was very important for me. And it was so funny. I was actually telling this story on my Peterson's channel, but I said I would tell it again over here as well. So the first year that we were together, we had started dating in August, so this is February, and we were a one-car family, and I was driving him. He was finishing college up at the time, and so I was driving him to school, and we had gone through Starbucks, and we got into some argument about something. I don't even know what it was. And so I really honestly, to this day, I mean, it's 12 and a half years, right? All this stuff is coming up on my computer all of a sudden, telling me that I don't have enough room in my storage or something. I don't know. I can't see it. I'll have to look in there just a second, I guess. I don't mean room. Maybe this video will never make it up. But anyway, he had made me this very special CD of like all of our favorite songs or songs that reminded him of us together and whatever. And we got into some argument, and he said something, and he took the CD and he threw it out the window when we were like leaving the parking lot. And I go, fine, then I'm gonna cancel these reservations. And I made reservations at like a really nice restaurant too. And I hadn't made any reservations. And he goes, well, that's okay, you should cancel those reservations. And I was so mad, I got out of that car just to show him, and I got that CD. And I said, I can't believe you would throw this CD out after, that just shows me what you think of all this stuff. Ridiculous fight. And by the time that we got to, you know, his college campus, three blocks away, we had made up and everything was fine. So, you know, throughout the day, we're like texting and whatever, and he was like, I'm really excited about this dinner tonight. Which I hadn't made plans of any reservation. So I'm calling everywhere trying to get reservations to some place to make dinner on Valentine's Day or whatever. And, or had I made reservations and I did cancel them? I can't remember. It was one or the other. But anyway, so I couldn't, so I had to tell him that we didn't have reservations for dinner that night. And he just laughed, you know. So we tried to go to like Applebee's. What's the weirdest thing? It just went out of focus all of a sudden. I don't know why. Anyway, so we're driving around to like, you know, Applebee's, Olive Garden, trying to go someplace for Valentine's Day, and nothing was open. And we ended up going to, Steak and Shake, which is this little diner place here. It's a, you know, a franchise. They have them like, you know, I don't know, every 5 miles or something, where you can get patty melts and chicken fingers and Frisco melts and shakes and spaghetti fries, you know. And it was so sweet because it was all these older couples that had gone on dates there when they were younger. And we had actually gone there a lot after we would go out. And so we went in there, and the tables had little tablecloths on them with candles and flowers and stuff. And it ended up being a very romantic Valentine's Day. So see, you don't have to spend a lot of money for Valentine's Day to do something nice. Anyway, I was at the Meijer, and I was like, I wanted to make my own homemade Valentines, but then I saw this box. Now, I actually think I bought this exact same box last year, and this is Decorate Your Own Mailbox, Valentine's Day mailbox. It's for ages 3 and above, and it was $5, and it has inside of it glitter pens and all kinds of stuff. But then, I also bought construction paper so I can make my own Valentines, and I bought Silly Scents Crayola markers so that we can write on them. But then what else did I get in here? What's this? Oh my Lord, no. This is, I thought I could try this over here sometime. This is Thread Bowls Kit. I'm getting really DIY over here. See, we'll try that someday. And then I got scissors. Well, here's my scissors that I have over here. Our 20-year-old scissors. But then I needed a little treat because, you know, you can't do any of this stuff without having a treat. So you always have, everything I do, there's always a snack involved, right? So I got Swedish fish, which if you didn't know, if you're a vegetarian, it's one of the only jellyfishes that doesn't, like jellyfishes, one of the only jelly foods that doesn't have gluten in it. So I eat, oh look, they're king-size Swedish fish. So we're gonna snack on those. And then I also bought, look at this, the Perfect Man. Oh my God, there's my thumbnail. Anyway, it says, he's sweet and decadently rich, just how a man ought to be. Definitely on that one, I agree. Okay, so let's, I think I want a little chocolate first before we get started on this. What should I eat first? I mean, I feel kind of bad eating his head first, but it's the easiest one to pop off. Oh my Lord, it's hard as a rock. I hope I don't break a tooth. Okay. Ow! Mmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Please leave your Valentine's Day boxes. Then you get chocolate. This little kit. Oh, this is cool. So you get 2 glitter pens. And then you get letters. And you get little jewels. Little blue jewels here. And then you get glitter glue, gold and silver. And then you get these designs and stuff. Very cool. Okay. So now I just kind of like, I'm minimalist. So I would just kind of go with that, honestly. So anyway, do you guys like Valentine's Day? Are you doing anything special for Valentine's Day? Why not? Okay, we're going to put this on here. Look at that. Ooh! She's looking pretty good already. I think I'm done. I can remember doing this when I was a kid, and I like wanted my Valentine's Day box to look like better than everybody else's. And do you remember that one girl that you would have in class? And she just was perfect at everything, and I always hated her, to be honest with you. Look at that. I didn't hate her because she was mean. I hated her because just everything seemed to come easily for her, you know? Now it's falling apart because the jewels are too heavy. But do you know what I mean? Like, did you ever, what are you supposed to do with this? I don't really know. Here's a bird. I guess I'll put the bird on there. But do you know what I mean? Like, did you ever know, like, I just feel like when I was growing up, like, there were just always those kids. Oh, a little cupcake. Isn't that so cute? There are always those kids that seem to have it, like, so much easier than everybody else. I don't know. Years later, I was talking to this guy that I went to, I think maybe just junior high and high school, but I think maybe, ooh, this one says love. I like that. Everybody say love. I think I went to all school with him, elementary, junior high, and high school. And we ended up becoming kind of friendly later, just a couple years ago. Ooh, look at these sparkle hearts. I like those. They're like, they sparkle. Anyway, I was talking to him, and I said, you know, like, you have no idea how hard high school was for me. And he said, why do you think that high school was any harder for you than it was for me? And I said, what do you mean? Like, do you know what I went through? And he was like, do you have any idea what the expectations were for me in high school? You know, I always had to be perfect. I always had to do this. I had to do that, blah, blah, whatever. And you know what? I had never thought of it that way. I really hadn't. You know, like Atticus Finch says you have to stand on, you know, somebody else's front porch and walk around in their shoes for a while. I never had considered from his point of view. And he wasn't somebody that was mean to me in high school. You know, he just wasn't. But I had never considered from his point of view that maybe school was difficult. I think, you know, at that age, it's such a weird age. I'm very forgiving today. I don't have a lot of animosity in me. I don't have a lot of hate in my heart. I don't really have a lot of hate in my heart for anybody today. Life is too short to harbor animosity and rage and resentment. And it's not healthy for me. And I don't want to live that way. You know, I want to be this is looking pretty good, actually. I want to be a forgiving person. I need to actually put my name on here, don't I? Do you guys want to see it so far? This thing is not going to stay up, and the things are coming off, but anyway, look at that. This would actually make a cute purse, wouldn't it? Here, I'm going to put the glitter, the things. These are not wanting to stay on. What is going on? Ugh. The bejewels are coming off. Bejewels of the world. I don't know. You know, I think that's where I believe that about turning your wounds into wisdom. This is falling apart. It doesn't matter. Where you think about turning your wounds into wisdom, you know? And I'm also often reminded of that scene from, you know, Deciding Women, if you ever watched it, with Suzanne Sugarbaker, where she goes to her high school reunion and they all go with her, and it's the one where Julia Sugarbaker is in the bathroom and she hears the people making fun of Suzanne, And she goes off and says, and that was the night the lights went out in Georgia. You know, but then Suzanne gets the award for most changed, and it's because she's gained the most weight. And she goes out there and she says, you know, that she knows what they mean by it or whatever, but, you know, to them, to her, they'll always be, I can't remember the exact words, but it was so sweet. You know, she'll look at somebody and she says, like, the boy that, you know, kissed me on the front step as he was saying goodnight from a date, or, you know, the girl that, you know, sat next to her in class. And I think that it's really easy for me to say, you know, oh, I went through this horrible time of being bullied, because I was. It was unbelievable, you know? But at the same time, I don't want to live in that for the rest of my life. I've learned a lot from it. I think I would prefer not to have lived through that, and maybe have lived through a different experience. But, you know, there were a lot of people in high school that I did like. There were a lot of people that weren't hard on me or mean to me. There were a lot of people that were very, very nice to me, you know? And I think back about my Carmel Greyhounds class of 1990, of which I could have cared less back then. And if you had showed me this video where I said that, I would have been like, me talking about my class, the graduating class of 1990, I could have cared less. Today, what I realize is there's only about 670 of us that can say that we were the class of 1990 that year, graduating from that high school, that we had all known each other. Many people I sat next to, and Peter, many of which I had sat next to, and, you know, on buses for years and in classrooms, and we had sat next to each other for 12 years. And I remember that last day of high school, and I talked about this in a vlog recently, because they had done this thing about class wills, which I'll talk about some other time. But I remember that last day of school, going to school and thinking to myself, like, this is the last time that I'm going to see some of these people. And, you know, the reality is it was the last time that I saw some of those people. I still haven't seen some of those people. People that I sat next to every day of my life for 12 years. Well, every day that school was in session for 12 years in a row, I sat next to some of those people and were in some of those classrooms with people. Literally kindergarten on, you know. And then you never see those people again. To say that those people don't have some kind of impact in our lives is just, it would be ignoring a huge part of our lives. So I look at that as a special period of my life, and I don't want to hate that period of my life, you know? And so I don't know. I look back on those Valentine's Day parties and the hoping for maybe a rose in high school, and, you know, wearing red. So, you know, red and pink on Valentine's. I was going to wear a pink shirt for this video. I totally forgot. You know, I look at those as magical moments, and maybe that's what I'm celebrating in retrospect. I don't know. So I had this whole idea of how I was going to make all of these Valentine's Day. Here, we're going to open these Swedish fish because I'm hungry for these. I've seen friends of mine, friends I even went to high school with, that have held on to the anger and the animosity. And as we near 50, I can't get this open. And not just anger from when they were in high school, but just anger, period. I've noticed that they've held on to it so tightly, you know, that it's manifested itself, and it's really affected their lives in really tragic ways. And I think I could have been that. I think I could have been the person. I still talk about it, you know, a lot, about being bullied and stuff, because it happened. And I'm not going to stop talking about it, because it's not like, well, this video didn't turn into what I thought it would be. I don't know. It happened. And I can't ignore that it happened. I don't want to live in it for the rest of my life. I don't want to ignore it. Sometimes I just want to remember the good times. And that's really, really hard, you know? I think as human beings, any of us that have gone through any kind of tragedy in our lives, we want to remember just the good times, you know? We want to romance the bottle, so to speak. And that's not healthy, but I think it's natural. I love construction paper. Do you guys love the smell of construction paper? I don't know. So maybe just on Valentine's Day. Do you ever have memories come back to you? This is so strange. Like, I just remembered going through construction paper and just pulling out the colors that I would use for Valentine's Day, which is red and pink. I thought there was white in here. Is there no white in here? Well, we'll save the orange and green for Valentine's Day, or for Thanksgiving. This video is so dumb. I don't even know. Maybe I won't even post this video. I don't know. What am I doing? I don't know how to make a Valentine. I thought I was going to do like lace with like white paper, but I don't have any paper except for like over there and the printer. I talked to Mel today, my co-partner in a true crime book club, and she said, when are you making your Valentine's Day things? And I said, I'm gonna make them soon. And she's like, I want to see you do crafts. And I was like, oh my Lord, who wants to see Peter do crafts? Nobody. Because I'm not any good at it. I guess what I wish the most is that I could look back on that period of my life and not be reminded of all of the crap and all of the pain. Where's the other glue? I'm almost out of my gold glue. And having to look back on it. But you know, I am such a believer that life is about the bitter and the sweet. I am such a believer that life is about the, you know, the yin and the yang, so to speak, that you, if it weren't for having hard times, would the good times really mean much? I don't think so. So I think that we have to have a little bit of both. And I think that's how am I gonna do this? I have this idea of how I was gonna do this card and now it's not turning out right. Not that I think any of us really wanna have, you know, horrible times in our life, but I think that it's about realizing that life is about the good, the bad, the in-between. It's about all of it. It's like, you know, when you look back on your life, you're gonna remember all of those times, not just the good times, right? And I think that's where, honestly, we learn to love ourselves a little bit more and treat ourselves a little bit better, and realizing that we're just human and we're doing the best that we can, one day at a time, trying to get through it, keeping it simple, keeping it moving. And then that's where we allow ourselves to turn our wounds into wisdom, as Oprah says. To grow from those experiences, to grow from those things. I don't know what I am doing. To grow from those things that have happened to us so that we learn from them, so that we continue to be the best versions of ourselves. So then those things that happen to us haven't happened in vain. They mean something. They aren't just reasons for being angry or resentful, but they serve a purpose. And I guess that's what I want more than anything, is to look back and realize that maybe all this pain that I suffered at some point or another was to serve a purpose. And you know what's so funny is when I think back on it, this is so ugly. It doesn't matter though. When I think back on like those, like when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about Valentine's Day when I was a kid, I'm not thinking of the bad times. I'm really not, you know? Like, this turned into that, which is kind of strange. But like, when I imagine myself and I think back on Peter sitting there at a desk opening his Valentine's Day box and looking at all the Valentines, you know? And I did get Valentine's Day cards from everybody, probably because the teacher told everybody you had to give one to everybody in class, you know? And that's okay. Life would probably be a lot nicer if we had people telling us that we had to be nice to people, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever think about that? Like, I don't know, life might be a lot easier and nicer and more of us would feel included, you know, if we had a universal teacher telling us that you have to get a Valentine for everybody and then everybody would feel included. Maybe our feelings wouldn't be hurt as regularly. I don't know. But I look back on that and I can see him because it doesn't feel like me, you know, it feels like this kid that I'm very protective of that I look, you know, back on, and I can see him there with his little bowl haircut and his red turtleneck, just so excited, you know? And I can see that in that moment, he's very, very happy, you know? With his little red cupcake, and he can't wait to go home and tell his mom about his Valentine's. That's what I remember. Here's my Valentine's. Look at that glue soaking through. Well, it's very Art Deco, which I think is apropos of me. I'm gonna break off a tooth. Is that all I have? Oh, my smelly sticker markers. What smells are these, I wonder? Brown. Let's see if I can try and smell them. Root beer or cola. Red. I can't tell what any of these smell like. There's a new one, pineapple. That's the one I want to use. Blue. Is pineapple? It is? It smells like grass. I mean, like lawn. Oh, that's cherry. I like that one. I don't even think people call it grass anymore, do they? This is so horrible. Mel is gonna laugh so hard when she sees this. I definitely will not be showing this to my husband. I know I'm not making a Valentine for him. I have other ways to show him that I love him tomorrow. This Valentine is to me. Anyway, I love you guys very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.